News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk KGVO, AM 1290 and now 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
The man who's been bothering women on the University of Montana campus has been identified. Good morning, everyone. This is Montana Morning. It's Thursday, September the 18th, 2014. We have a partly cloudy sky in western Montana right now. It's mild. It's warm out there, in fact. Definitely shirt-sleeve weather. It's only 56 degrees in Missoula. And our newscast this morning sponsored by Kootenai Creek Village, the maintenance-free active adult community located in Stevensville, where you'll have hundreds of builders' options to choose from. Call 546-6930. A former University of Montana student from Idaho, suspected of making inappropriate comments to female students and groping one of those students in the fall of 2013, has now been identified. UM Police Chief Marty Ludeman has more.
Been looking for this suspect throughout, since the first incident. We had one that he actually reached out and grabbed a young lady in a stairwell. So it was something that we were pretty concerned with on campus, as you can understand.
Ludeman says the case was solved through cooperation with the Missoula Police Department.
Got a break in the case. The city police actually got a report of a similar type incident that they had. They reached out to us to see if we had anything similar, and we did, and put our two cases together and interviewed the suspect, and he confessed to all the cases on campus and a few in the city as well.
I spoke with Chief Deputy County Attorney Jennifer Clark last night, and she said that a warrant has been requested for Jeremy St. Goddard, and she lists the charges.
Jeremy St. Goddard has been charged with multiple counts of disorderly conduct for making lewd comments to women on the campus of the university. He's been charged with misdemeanor sexual assault for touching a woman inappropriately. He has also been charged with a count of misdemeanor assault for causing reasonable apprehension of bodily injury in one woman.
Missoula police will serve the warrant on St. Goddard, after which he'll appear in Missoula Justice Court. A 36-year-old Bonner man has been acquitted of a charge alleging he responded to an online ad placed by an undercover officer offering sex with a 12-year-old girl. The Missoulian recently reported jurors reached the verdict on September 11th in the child sexual abuse case against Chad Lee Briggs. Briggs said the initial ad did not explicitly say anything about an underage girl, and he contacted the ad's author on December 17th out of concern. He said when they posted the age of the girl, he flagged it for removal from Craigslist. Briggs said he later figured out his girlfriend, Jenna Davis, was communicating with the undercover detective and setting up an encounter. Davis also was charged in the sting. Briggs says Child Protective Services took his daughter away. He also lost his job, his house, his truck, and even his dog. During a city council meeting yesterday, attorneys from the law firm Boone Carlberg, presented some of their findings concerning the relationship with the Montana Public Service Commission and Mountain Water. Attorney Scott Stearns tried to show that Mountain Water had an unfair access to the commission.
The 5 PSC commissioners in Helena, again, don't have a lot of expertise in running a water system. We were intrigued by what we were finding in early documents at the PSC, so I sent them a subpoena asking them for all of their emails, all of their documents. Give us everything that you have on Mountain Water, please.
City Council looked at a series of emails between employees at the PSC and Mountain Water. Attorneys, one of the emails even discussed a meeting over beer at a Helena brewery. At the end of the meeting, Mayor Engen explained how much the eminent domain lawsuit has cost the city so far.
Here's what I know today. We've spent roughly $400,000 on attorneys. We've spent another $130 or so on experts. This fight will continue to be expensive. We have not been able to come up with an estimate because whatever our estimate is for the continuing prosecution of this litigation is going to be a guess.
And a Councilman Adam Hertz of Ward 2 believes the mayor has exceeded his mandate from the council.
But in that authorization, the mayor was authorized to hire the firm Perkins Coie, but he has since both hired and paid Boone Carlberg and Dotsopoulos, McDonald, and Lind, and he's also talking about hiring an engineering firm as part of this, and I don't believe that he has the authorization to do that.
The mayor estimated the process of the lawsuit's likely about halfway done. He says most of the heavy lifting, though, is already over. The former girls basketball coach at Lone Peak High School in Big Sky has denied raping 2 of his players. Kyle Keith Cocott appeared before District Judge John Brown yesterday and pleaded not guilty to 2 felony counts of sexual intercourse without consent. He's been released from jail on bond and is wearing a GPS monitoring device. Kokot was arrested August 29th after the parents of one of the girls went to the school superintendent. Charging documents say Kokot has acknowledged having sex with two girls, knowing they were 14 and 16 at the time. He says he made the mistake of getting too close to several of the girls. Missoula County Sheriff's Office Public Information Officer Paige Pavallone yesterday clarified the situation regarding the extradition of accused killer Kevin Leno, currently in Louisiana, fighting his return to Missoula. She explains the term waiving extradition.
What waiving extradition means is that he is going to come back willingly and compliantly. If he refuses to waive extradition, that means he is not going to come back compliantly.
Pavallone explains what will happen should Leno continue to fight extradition back to Missoula.
The Missoula County Sheriff's Office and the County Attorney's Office will apply for a governor's warrant. In the event that that has to happen, it takes about 4 to 6 weeks for that process to occur, and it's physically signed by the governor. That's why it's called the governor's warrant, and that forces him to come back.
Leno's facing charges of deliberate homicide for killing 32-year-old Gilbert Berry. Leno allegedly carved gang symbols into Berry's skin, urinated on him, and then shot him in the head under the Reserve Street Bridge. He then allegedly dumped Berry's body into the Clark Fork River, where it was found several days later by a fisherman. Yesterday, the U.S. House passed a continuing resolution to fund the government through December 11th. The vote effectively delays another fiscal cliff until after the elections. The resolution also included an amendment that would allow the U.S. to arm Syrian rebels currently fighting ISIL. Montana Congressman Steve Daines explains.
Today, we did what was necessary to keep the government operating. It's what the American people expect and they deserve. Congress also took steps to address the direct threat posed by ISIL. I continue to have serious concerns with the president's plan to arm the Syrian rebels. However, failure to take any action is not an option.
Daines voted to pass the continuing resolution, as did a majority of representatives. The final vote tally, 319 to 108. Finally, the death of a dog on an Anaconda Street ended with an assault charge for the dog's owner and a DUI charge for the man who reportedly struck the animal. Police Chief Tim Barkell said the dog's owner reported that 48-year-old Tony Mary had driven by and struck and killed the dog Saturday. When Mary returned later, the dog's owner jumped on the side of the vehicle and punched Mary several times through the window. Our News Talk time now, 6:10.
News Talk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
A chance of a shower or thunderstorm this morning as you head out to the bus stop or the morning commute. But for the most part, people will stay dry. Just a very brief downpour is possible during the morning. In the afternoon, getting up to 79 degrees with chance of more showers. I'm meteorologist Matt Gray for KCI 13, your first alert station.